Okay, for this podcast, we're going to be talking about the Oscars nominations of 2019 with
Elliot Hughes,
Ryan Jones,
Jim Lattimore,
Dominic Hodge,
Louis. I prefer to remain anonymous.
it's Hannan.
So who wants to hear the best film nominations again?
yes, please.
I do.
Yes, please.
Well, we've got Le Mans 66,
I love that film.
The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. What do we think shouldn't be there?
Jojo Rabbit.
Definitely Jojo
Wow,
Rabbit.
okay.
I haven't even seen it. And I also say Jojo Rabbit.
I am surprised it's there. I don't know why it's there.
I'm sure it's a good film.
I mean, every year there is normally one that you go, why is that there? But Jojo is particularly out of
Yeah,
place.
that is particularly that.
Mm.
I don't know why, but
It's not a very good Oscar film, and it's not really that funny.
It's not a Taika Waititi film either, it's just a rip-off of
What's
a Wes
strange?
Anderson movie.
They're not actually a set number anymore, so it could have been 8. It could have been 7.
That's what I think is weird. They didn't have to fill out a quota and
No.
hit a certain number.
no, I'm sure there would have been something else.
Do they have to do that for other categories like supporting actors? But is it because there's always 5 for like actors and actresses, or can they just do whatever they want?
I think there's always 5.
Yeah, I
for
think-
the rest.
Yeah,
Well,
the other categories are always fixed, apart from Best Film, where they just kind of do what the fuck they want.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anytime.
because how many is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 nominations.
10 nominations.
10
I
nominations for
was
best film.
I was told I'd like Jojo Rabbit, and I know nothing about it. So can anyone give me like a?
I mean, do you want the entire plot, or do you just
Well,
want
no,
some of the idea?
ideally not.
I would also like
I'll
to see
probably
it.
just go and watch it.
Just tell me what happens.
Little
Yeah.
boy,
Just tell me how it
imaginary
ends.
friends, Adolf Hitler, played by Taika Waititi.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much it.
yeah. In the style of a Wes Anderson picture.
Yeah.
I got that vibe just.
I
from
did
the
get
poster.
Grand Budapest vibes from the trailer.
Yeah.
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 Moonrise
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Moonrise, definitely Moonrise
Moonrise
Kingdom.
I haven't seen anything but a poster, and I thought Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's
But
It's-
the issue is that all the good jokes, or at least I think the big jokes, because it's marketed as a comedy, all the big jokes are in the trailer.
which is why you don't watch the trailers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you my biggest problem with Jojo Rabbit, and this is going to sound probably a bit. What's the word?
PC.
No, just well, for the people that are fans of Taika Waititi, is that the problem I had with it, which was also the problem I also had with What We Do in the Shadows, was actually Taika Waititi. I don't find him that funny.
Oh.
I think he tries too hard to be funny, especially when he's with people that are naturally funny, like Jermaine Clement in What We Do in the Shadow, who's just hilarious anyway. I just get the feeling that Taika's trying to match his humour. And sometimes I think it falls a bit flat. Sometimes.
I think maybe he does better as a director in that sense.
Yeah, I think it's because he only works himself in because he's written and directing and says, "Well, of course I could get myself apart."
Do you think that's out of ego or just out of more just wanting to be part of the product kind of thing?
Yeah, I think just out of he feels like he needs to because he believes he is like a comic kind of actor and is friends with all these comic actors. And I think it really shows when he's in a scene with someone who's naturally really funny, like Jermaine Clement. And I had it again with this, so I just thought he was just trying a little bit too hard. You can tell that on set he was trying to make people laugh and chords. And so like, oh, okay, we'll do it again. And I just didn't find anything he said. Nothing made me laugh anyway for what he said. That's Hitler. But that's just me.
I think the joke wears out pretty quickly
Yeah.
with that. Like,
Yeah.
the opening scene is great, and you're laughing at it, but then after that, you've sort of exhausted it.
It's like a novelty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen Boy?
No.
No.
Because he plays the dad of the boy, obviously. He's better in that. Similar sort of thing. Obviously, his dad's not as bad as Adolf Hitler, but I think that's. I didn't mind it. I like the film, but the word I would use to describe it is cute, which is all right.
Yeah.
It's not great.
But is
what
that?
you thought it was going to be.
But is cute good enough to win best film?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
it probably should be.
And like, call me boring and old-fashioned, but I don't really find comedies about World War II that clever.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
I think that was one of the reasons he probably decided, oh, well, I'm just going to play Hitler, because imagine it's so much easier to just be like, oh, I'll do it, than try and convince someone, can you please play a comedy version of Hitler exactly to my liking in the tone of this film?
Mm.
I
Just
know.
easy to go, I'll do
With
it.
the amount of clout that is around him at the moment, I think he could have got a good name.
What, Hitler?
To play Hitler.
I think, right, to be honest, I agree with you there, just mainly for the fact that if he had cast someone that kind of looked like Hitler, then he probably actually would have got a lot of flack for it, of like trivialising, like,
Good point.
killing or whatever the fuck.
Well, I think that's the
But
thing.
because he's doing it, it's so ridiculous that people can look past the controversy of it and just go like, well, obviously he's clearly not Hitler. Whereas if it was someone like Bruno Ganz or something, people go, oh, he's actually making Hitler funny.
Bit tasteless.
Yeah, and I just think the more you kind of make Hitler a kind of a comedy character, the more it kind of fictionalizes him, which I don't think is a good thing to do. I think people should, again, it sounds boring and old-fashioned, but people should remember just how horrendous of a person he was.
Yeah.
If you start making a comedy character out of him, it's like, I don't know, it just kind of cheapens.
I mean, they kind of did that. I mean, Charlie Chaplin did that while Hitler was still around.
But I guess that was before the acknowledgement of his kind of pure evil, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
at the time, he was just the leader of Germany.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think they did stuff
quite
during-
evil at that time.
Yeah.
People thought it was. What, it was
Like the stuff like
1940?
stuff like the Holocaust hadn't
Dictator.
come out
Yeah,
yet, and things like that.
1940.
Yeah.
He was just the enemy,
Something like that, yeah.
but now he's like
I think, yeah.
the big bad of evil.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Taika and Jojo Rabbit. I just didn't really find any of it funny. Like even with great actors like Sam Rockwell, I just didn't really. I don't think I just understood it or clicked with it. And particularly Rebel Wilson, I never found her funny anyway.
No.
But
No.
it really showed in this. It's like you're just trying too hard. I just got the impression, as I said, that they were trying to make each other laugh on set, all dressed as Nazis. Let's just have fun with it. I just think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Taika
Basically,
should've made
not a
Cats.
best picture. Nominee.
No, I was
Yeah, alright.
surprised. Like with some that you can kind of like, even if I haven't liked it, I can understand why it's there. Like Little Women, like even though I wasn't too keen on it, I can understand why it's there because people have really liked it, and it's based on like the famous story. Like it was pretty much guaranteed. But Jojo just came from left field for me, and also with Le Mans really. Like I enjoyed that, but best film nomination. I don't know about that.
See, I disagree. I really thought the film was great. And
Yeah.
considering I don't really give a toss about cars
No,
or
neither
anything
do
like
I.
that,
Mm.
like it actually made me care.
Yeah.
And like by the time I got to the end, I was like, wow, that was something. Like, I would have said it was probably one of my favourite films last year.
Those are the kind of best, like, sort of biopics, like Moneyball. Like, none of us care about baseball
No.
or statistics.
Yes.
I'm willing to
Struggling
bet.
baseball.
Speak to
Yeah.
yourself.
But it was a great film.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so riveted by these stat scores for promising athletes.
Yeah, that's when you know you've got a biopic right, is when you do care about what's going on, even if it's something
Yeah.
completely you're not
Particularly
interested
sports,
Yeah.
considering
Yeah.
none of, well, obviously we've got people like football and whatnot and
Yeah.
in it, but I can speak for a couple of us when I say like I hate sport. I don't watch any sport, but put a good movie on that's about sport.
Yeah.
If it's not, the best ones are not about the sport, be it Rush or Moneyball or
Yeah.
this
in. Warrior.
Warrior.
This one was more about the struggle against the
Yeah, the
corporate
human
giants
thing.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, oh yeah, totally.
So I thought it was great. I'm not sure is Bale up for best supporting actor or anything
I
like
think
that.
he is.
Let me check.
Bale up for playing
'Cause-
Bale.
That film was
Well,
about
you,
the
you,
acting.
you say that, but like
The acting's what really carried it because
Bale always tries to
Yeah.
make himself like somebody else in his films and dicks around, and obviously like that works for him. But this, I actually felt like he was trying to put in a performance rather than turn himself into someone.
Yeah, because it does get a bit tiring with Bale, where it's like, why do you give an Oscar to a man that just starves himself or makes himself
Puts on a
fat?
suit, yeah.
Like,
But he is
I can
good.
do that.
He is good. Like when he did like
Yeah.
Cheney, he did a
oh
good
sure,
Cheney.
like as long as the performance is great, but it's
But I
when,
get what you mean. He is
it's-
very. He's
yeah.
like ditto.
It's
he
when,
just
it's when
morphs
people
into
compliment
someone
him for
rather
doing
than play a
that, where it's like, oh, he put so much effort in. Look how much weight you
like, yeah,
lost
you're
for Ford v
missing the
Ferrari.
point.
It's like, yeah, talk about the performance. Don't talk
Yeah.
about the fact that you made him so
Well, the
skinny.
thing I
'cause-
don't like about Christian Bale's weight gain and weight loss is that he makes it seem it's almost like he's boasting on screen about how much. Like just that one shot in American Hustle where he's there with
with his belly hanging
It's
out.
just like, make sure you get a shot of this because I've worked fucking hard for this.
Yeah.
Whereas like other actors that do it, It's like irrelevant.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
say
like
if-
Joaquin Phoenix
That's it,
in
that's it,
Joker,
that's
you don't hear him
Phoenix,
talk about it.
yeah, it's not making it obvious, or like Gary Oldman or Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. It's not like you can sort of look past it and accept that he's the character and not the actor playing the character. And I think Bale sometimes just makes it just a bit too obvious in what he's doing. Even if the films are really good, like I'm not knocking the films, like Machinist or Dark Knight and all that, where he puts all that, and I respect it. Like he must have really intense dedication, because didn't he put all that muscle on, like it was like a year after The Machinist,
Yeah, it's
going
quite
from
close
like
together.
a stick to like a almost like bodybuilding weight.
Mm.
But I just think sometimes he just makes it really obvious in that, like, look at me kind of thing. Whereas other actors don't do that. None that I can really think of.
No. But saying that, he was good in it.
He was good, yeah.
How was Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt
Damon.
He's
Well,
pretty
you-
consistent though. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Like
Yeah.
he never really wows me. He just
He's
Does
very
a great job.
consistently in the middle of the
Constantly
road.
a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. It's not really often I sort of see a performance from him and go like, wow, he was amazing in that film.
Yeah.
trying to think of an example, really. Probably something like Mr. Ripley or something.
Well,
But,
all the scenes he was in with.
We bought a zoo.
Yeah.
good in Contagion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What
He's al-
happened to her?
He's always good. Like, I know this is obviously high company, but similar to De Niro, lazy De Niro, where I haven't seen something amazing from him for a while, in terms of like, because that's what I thought about The Irishman, which is why I can understand why Pacino and Pesci have been nominated, is because they really, like, particularly for Pacino, like, that was the best. I think that's the best performance he gave since like Son of a Woman.
See, I've heard
Yeah.
that a lot. I haven't watched it yet, but because a lot of people have told me, in general, the story is not necessarily thin, but it's maybe not enough to necessitate 3.5 hours. But all those people still say Pacino, in particular. I don't know anything about it, but they say he's really good in it. Really
Yeah,
good.
it's just. I think he really needed a film like this, because the films he's been doing the last few years
Don
have
Pacino.
just been
Terrible.
trash, huh?
Don Pacino.
Don Pacino, yeah.
Sandler films.
Yeah.
Like Rouge.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
Mm.
And just all this like straight to DVD crap like that. I haven't seen about The Hangman with like Carl Urban.
It's just falling off the wagon.
Where
really.
apparently, from what I've read, it ended up like how The Snowman ended up, where it just didn't make sense and it was just a failed production.
Jesus.
So I think, oh, I won't bother with that.
It's just the gigs you take when you're running out of money.
Yeah, so he's kind of he hasn't really, I say like best performance in Son of a Woman, but he kind of hasn't really had anything that's come close to that since. Like, it seems like he's been waiting a long time to finally have a character like this again.
Yeah.
That's why I say Pacino stood out more than De Niro, because De Niro was just being as is.
Yeah.
He was just
Relatively.
great as he always is. Same as Saoirse Ronan in Little Women. She's just great as she always is.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything outstanding about it.
No.
She just meets this consistent level of
Yeah.
good.
I just can't. There's only so much I can praise that. It's,
It's
like,
weird,
well done,
isn't
you're
it? 'Cause-
doing your job. Like,
Yeah, sometimes you look at these characters and you go, they absolutely, they have put 110% of their effort
Sure.
in. And then other nominations you think, well, yeah, you just did, you
just
did a
did
great
good.
job, but
Yeah.
you didn't.
Exactly.
Sell
Yeah.
it anything.
Like, well, because we talked about it obviously at the pub earlier, didn't we, with Scarlett Johansson for JoJo?
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, she was absolutely fine. I have no
Yeah.
issues with her performance.
Laura Dern marriage story.
Laura Dern and Merit, they're completely fine. Yes, I completely believe Laura Dern was this, marital lawyer.
Mm.
But I don't mean she deserves an Oscar for it, because she's just doing her job.
That one absolutely confounds me, because you could literally get anyone to play that role. And she was very good at it, but again, what was good? It was just delivering the lines in a performable manner.
Who nominate are the same as the voters? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's all voting. Yeah, yeah.
So with acting categories, only actors vote for who wins. So I thought if
Think
it's the
so.
same as nominations, then maybe it's not a Jojo Rabbit thing. Maybe they're just putting her in because she's been in many films and they're sort of doing it like that. Because she's the only one nominated for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress this year, like 2. So that means I'm pretty sure she's guaranteed to win one of them. And I don't think she'll win the top one, so they're giving her the Jojo Rabbit nod.
You don't
If
think
that
she'll win
makes
for
sense.
Marriage Story?
No, even though she deserves it, I think that'll probably go to Renée Zellweger because
Yeah.
looking at history, they go with impersonation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was great.
And she was great as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Like, that's the only compliment I can give Judy is Renee. And I think that's like, but I think people kind of gathered that in the first place with Judy.
Sweet Judy.
And also, just to clarify, Christian isn't nominated.
Oh, is he not?
See.
Well,
Is
Tough
what's-
Bollocks.
is Le Mans and like is it nominated for anything big other than?
No, I think honestly, I think it's only
Sound.
best picture. I don't think it's got anything.
Yeah, well, it's not for like best.
I'm sure the
direction
sound
and
is
that.
great.
It's just sound. Well, with the best actors for leads is Antonio Banderas and Pain and Glory. That was another surprise. Like he was good, but I wasn't expecting he was going to get that far.
Mm.
Leo and Once Upon a Time. I don't really know how to feel about that.
I personally think I'm quite happy with him being nominated.
I'm
I do
happy
think he
with it,
gave
but
her.
I don't think it was Oscar nominee worthy.
Brad Pitt, I don't think, was an Oscar nominee.
Well, yeah, because
No.
he's already won
Just like Brad
quite a
Pitt.
few things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm the voice of the person who hasn't seen any of these films. But like looking at the trailer and from what I saw, it just looked like they were playing fun characters, but not necessarily, the performance of a lifetime or anything like that.
No.
Well, I think if you look at the best actor, like who's been nominated for it, apart from Joker, all the other performances, I'm like, is anyone even gonna like get close?
I think
I don't think they will. No, I think
don't
it's.
think
I
so.
think this has been a
Performance
given.
that
Well,
is
I think the
really-
closest to Joaquin will be Adam Driver for
Oh, yeah,
Marriage Story.
definitely.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
absolutely.
Like everyone else, as I say, like Antonio, Leo, and Jonathan Pryce in the two Popes. I ain't seen it, but I can imagine it being. As
What I'd say,
good as you
like,
can
is-
think it is.
Like with people like Leo or Brad getting nominated and whatnot, because I get what you mean about like the, is it the performance of a lifetime? Is it a moving piece? But obviously, you don't want the Academy to end up being consistently always 5 proper drama
Oscar
tear
baits.
joke. Yeah, exactly. Like Adam Driver's fantastic, but if you had 5 Adam Driver-esque performances, it
Yeah.
would get so stale. So it's good to have that kind of eclectic variety.
Yeah,
Have like, here's a kind of a comedy piece where you're still giving a stellar performance, but not trying to make you cry or trying to make you go,
think
God, look,
William-
lost all that weight.
William Dafoe, I think, was snubbed this year. Have you seen The Lighthouse?
Not yet.
Oh no, I want to.
And,
People said great.
People are annoyed that that's not kind of been up for more things.
Was it just cinematography,
Just
wasn't it?
cinematography, yeah.
Jesus.
But then it is his second film.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it's the Greta Gerwig thing all over again.
and Pulp Fiction was Tarantino's second film.
That's true, but Pulp Fiction is the shit.
It is the shit.
Yeah. But as for supporting actor, there was also, Tom Hanks for playing Mr. Rogers,
Obviously.
and
Another
I mean,
impersonation one again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Anthony Hopkins, two Popes again.
Yeah.
I imagine it's just as good as you think it is.
An impersonation one again.
Yeah.
Pacino and Pesci, of course, and Brad. I'm glad Pesci's there because it feels like
Oh yeah.
this is probably going to be his last one since he hasn't. This is his first big film in like I don't know how long.
So-
He turned down the role like 50 times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So here's a question: with things like Pacino and Pesci and The Irishman being nominated for as many things as it was, a couple of years ago, people were saying Netflix films don't even deserve to be shown in theatres, let alone kind of put forward for Oscars.
Spielberg. And then
Well, Hollywood at large.
They
was saying that.
they just got scared of
But,
anything
yeah, do you-
outside that could pop their bubble.
Do you think this is a change, or is it just them going, "Oh yeah, The Irishman was good. Let's just kind of give it a bit of praise so people stop
I
kind of
think
giving us
like
grief for
Once
that"?
Upon a Time in Hollywood we're in a time of change. I don't think it's necessarily going to end up with it all like Netflix taking over or anything.
But are they opening up to it more, or are they just doing it?
I think
for the sake of doing
when
it.
there's so many streaming services and like you look at like Apple TV's becoming a thing now and everything like that, there's going to be so many films made by these streaming services
Oh,
that
yeah.
eventually you're just going to have to be like, well, we've got to include them, otherwise 50% of the films that are made.
Yeah, I think it's
we
just
can't talk about.
I think it's just
Yeah.
a case of like if you can't beat them, join them kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess
it's-
Marriage Story was
It's Netflix.
Netflix as well.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like Netflix. The problem is the reason that studios don't take chances on directors or give chances to even like esteemed people, like how hard it took Scorsese to even get The Irishman made
Yeah.
before Netflix came to them, because their entire budget and their entire profit is based on cinema takings and DVD takings. They don't take streaming into account because they don't get the main generation of profit.
Yeah,
So the
I
pro-
don't
so
see
the-
why I can't do both. Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem is studios don't want to take the gamble. Netflix have got so much fucking money
Doesn't
that
matter.
they can just burn on projects. Like we worked out, they have like a couple of billion in
Well, they don't
just spare
have it.
cash. Well, yeah, in
They're
assets,
spending it.
basically. Yeah, they spend more than they earn.
Yeah.
But we're all, everyone in this room is subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, we're constantly paying them. You know, whereas with a cinema, the average cinema goer goes like once or twice a year.
There's always
They've
that
got a
awkward-
hope that they do it. In Netflix, you're guaranteed it, so everyone's flooding there.
There's always
they
that
get the money.
awkward gap, isn't there, between when a film's out of the cinema and not on DVD.
Mm.
Netflix can actually just put it straight on its service
Exactly.
after it's.
And I don't mind when
Yeah.
Netflix, like what they've done with Uncut Gems, where it's come out for 2 weeks and then been put on Netflix
Yeah.
after. I'm already paying for it. I'll happily wait the extra 2 weeks, and if I really want to go see it,
Sure.
Then I'll
it
go
it
and
appeases
spend the money.
both crowds.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably-
I wanted to see Irishman in the cinema, so
Yeah.
did you. We went and saw it,
Yeah.
but then we got to see it again on Netflix. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
It's
really.
twice.
Win.
Scorsese
Yeah.
was only going to make it if they played it in the cinema.
Yeah,
And
no,
he was
I
saying
think,
houses
something about
again.
the King of Comedy only being shown for a week when
Yeah,
it came
yeah.
out, and it got pulled. So
well, I think that was like part of the contract that Scorsese wanted it to be out for at least 2
yeah,
weeks.
to be nominated, right?
And yeah, well, just for people to see on the big screen.
Oh, right,
I think
okay.
it was out for a while.
Is there
Yeah.
some kind of... There used to be some kind of thing where it had to be out in a certain number of theatres in a certain number of locations before it could be nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, I still think it's
Yeah,
about
it's really
theatrical
eligible,
release. Yeah,
Right.
they haven't
Yeah.
changed the Academy ruling for
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a movie couldn't, like, if Marriage Story didn't have a limited run, which I assume it did.
Must have somewhere in America.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be in California
Yeah, Lou, you said about the California
because that's
ruling.
what happened with the Hurt Locker, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know it definitely played in cinemas in LA, Marriage Story.
Yeah, and I guess if you don't do it, then it's illegible. I mean, obviously you're not allowed to do Cannes. Like, Cannes a no-no,
Yeah,
but what a fuck.
but it was the same with the Coens with Buster Scruggs. They wanted it to be released, a small limited release, before going straight to Netflix. But I think that just comes with, their ranking as directors.
They're
They're clown. That they can sort of ask for these kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that I don't really think about it when I see these films being nominated. I don't think about the fact that it's a Netflix film that's been nominated. I think it's because there's been so many now. I've kind of lost track. When I think back to there's been like Roma and Buster Scruggs and Irishman now and Marriage Story and there's probably a bunch of others.
Bright.
Yeah.
Don't talk shit about Bright.
And I think it's just got to a stage now where, because there's been a lot, there's been enough big directors making Netflix films that kind of quandary's gone now.
Yeah, but-
Scorsese was definitely the one that pushed the
Oh,
boat over
definitely.
the edge.
Yeah, and now, like, this year, like, the amount of directors that are flooding in, like, you've got Spike Lee that's joining them, you've got, Fincher, obviously.
Yeah.
Fincher, yeah.
Potentially
Big up
Lynch.
Fincher.
Because
Potentially
who have
Lynch.
we got? We've got like Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story, and they've got the Coens, Scorsese,
Ben
Soderbergh's
Wheatley.
made 2.
Yeah, Soderbergh, Wheatley. No, there's dozens. There were so many announcements in
Alfonso
one day.
Cuarón.
Alfonso.
Mm.
The last time I thought about Netflix movies being Netflix movies was that Mudbound. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
When it got
Yeah.
nominated
Yeah.
for DP, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Netflix at the Oscars!" Now it just seems like,
And also the fact that Mudbound seemed like Netflix are making like a proper film.
Yeah.
Right,
That isn't
yeah,
like an
yeah.
Adam Sandler
or a War Machine or whatever.
Yeah,
What happens
just-
to the little indie
I haven't thought about
filmmakers now?
War Machine in age.
Fucking
Imagine
hate War
in Netflix you're going to have the big pool of the names, so you're not going to put your money in the little filmmaker's pocket, are you, to get the films made?
I don't know. I mean, Safdie
So would
brothers
it-
have only got one like proper film before Uncut Gems, which was
Mm.
Good Time, which was 2017.
That's
And
true.
that was just Robert Pattinson and these unknown directors doing a little indie film, and now they've been doing. It's probably not a big. I haven't seen it. It's probably not a big budget film, Uncut Gems,
No.
but it's doing really well, and
Yeah.
they kind of put their faith behind these guys. So that's a smaller-ish.
I don't
Yeah.
think they have to worry about billing.
No, I think they're more concerned about what the film is than rather than who's doing it. Who's doing it helps, but
Oh,
I
of
don't
course.
think they put their faith in who is doing it.
But I think the who's doing it is less about the film and more about their own image, because they want to be able to. And fair enough, they want to be able to brag, like, look what we're doing. Like, fuck off Amazon, you've got Good Omens, and meanwhile we've got Spike Lee, and meanwhile we've got the Coens, and we've got Fincher, and we've
Yeah,
now
that's
got
a good
Lynch.
And
point,
these films are
actually.
also winning big awards.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's
Yeah.
more just a big, ballsy stride.
Has
from
Amazon
Hollywood.
Prime ever done any kind of custom film that's been... I can't even think of a...
They distribute. They did Gus Van Sant's film, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry, won't get far.
Yeah, and another one as well with Joaquin.
You're never really here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, did they distribute
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I watched that on
They've
Netflix.
done some, but none of it.
This is the thing. I can't remember what they are because I know there's been times in the cinema I've seen Amazon Studios pop up,
Yeah.
but I can't remember what it was for.
They-
I think
I mean,
most of it is TV.
God
like,
bless them. They take a
series.
chance on the little guy a lot with
A
Prime,
lot.
but it's not as juggernauty as that's
sure
what
it will
Disney
be at
does.
some point.
Netflix.
It doesn't help that it's bundled in with Amazon Prime. I think like
Oh, it's the worst
It's
interface
not,
ever.
it's not a service itself. It's kind of
No.
with another service.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that they have Amazon Prime Video.
No. I get emails telling me like, "Oh, I'm not using parts of my Prime account. Do you know you have
watch our
Audible?"
content.
Oh yeah, and Amazon Music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
some good stuff on there. I'm not sure. Did you guys watch The Big Sick? I like The Big Sick. That's a
Yeah.
good film.
Yeah.
I
Is
haven't
that Amazon
seen it.
Prime? It's pretty good. Yeah, it was. That's
He,
where I
he
watched
got
it.
nominated for Best Originals...
Screenplay?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
For that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's
So
a cool
Prime
story.
have some footing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not utilising it very well.
no. Whereas Netflix are just
Scorsese.
they've
just
opened it
not-
all up
And now Apple's trying to get in the game as well.
with Spielberg.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it's sort of gone past that point now of people sort of being arsy about Netflix films getting this and
Right.
getting that because there's been so many of them now. It's like
Right.
you kind of lose track of what's what. Like so I have to keep reminding myself with some of these. It's like, oh yeah, that was a Netflix film.
Mm.
The only person I don't see who go into it would be like Tarantino. I mean, he's only got one left apparently anyway.
Well, we'll see.
So I don't think he's going to make a Netflix film.
Unless he does 10 films and then he goes, right, for my 11th thing, I'm going to do a series.
Well, he's because he's
limited
doing Bounty
series.
Law, isn't
Oh,
he?
yeah, if he-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that could be
well,
Netflix because there's the sort of
maybe.
people that
But would
like,
he want to do Netflix even for TV?
Yeah.
Because he grew up with, cable and
Yeah, but
network.
then he's always been very old-fashioned anyway.
Yeah, you'll never
Like,
change it.
I know
He's-
there are some exceptions that probably won't do Netflix films,
Sure. Sure.
but then to be honest, if we were to be talking about this like 2 years ago, I would have said Scorsese as well for
Yeah.
not making a Netflix film.
It's very true.
But then
Shows
that
you
was
how
also
much
kind of like a
films-
last resort since no other studio wanted to finance
That
the
was
film.
picked up by various different people and then dropped again.
Yeah, it was like
So-
Sony and God knows what else.
Maybe this will change his perspective on it. Maybe he will just start making more films with Netflix because they gave him all the money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They give creators and directors. They give people so much. From what I've gathered, they give people so much creative license.
Yeah.
To
It's just blank checks.
Yeah,
yeah.
and they just go, yeah, just make.
That's why we get masterpieces like Bird Box.
Fuck you.
I actually like
this
this
movie.
I never saw it.
We're not having a discussion about Bird Box.
What's wrong with Bird Box?
It's shit.
It was incredible. Just quickly with Bird Box, it was incredible how much social media attention Bird Box
Yeah.
got. I don't
Yeah.
think I saw
Yeah.
that.
That's what put me off.
It was
couldn't
like I was
believe
watching
it.
a different movie to Twitter.
Yeah.
It was like they based the film around a meme, and then the meme took off, and then so did the film. It was incredible. It was incredible.
I think you're right. I think it's like just a shit version of Quiet Place, but
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, of
Yeah,
course,
I
it
guess.
came out
Yeah.
around the same
it
time.
came out at the same time. But
And then there was that other one on Netflix, wasn't there? Like shortly after with Stanley Tucci. It was
Oh,
exactly
yes,
the same.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this time we can't. What was it? So it was like we're all deaf.
It was hearing again, so more like Quiet Place and Bird Box was.
We're gonna get through all the senses eventually.
And
You
that was-
can't
that was
touch
even-
anything.
you can't smell them.
I can't taste the ghosts.
Yeah, that's the one compliment I give Bird Box is that it was better than The Silence.
Well done.
That's
Stick
not
that on the
the
poster.
film by Scorsese. It's like,
no, of course not.
Better
Aren't they
than this
making?
shit.
Are they making Bird Box 2? Have I heard that?
Well, I know
They're
they're making Quiet Place too.
And yeah,
Even
I know
quieter.
yeah.
They probably will make a Bird Box too, I imagine,
We'll
just
see.
because it was so popular.
Has Netflix ever made a sequel to an original film?
Well, they brought back TV shows. And
No,
maybe
yeah.
TV, I think they
But that's like a
made
revival.
Do you mean as in like a Netflix original and then a Netflix original sequel?
Yeah.
So it's
I
all
like
in
that.
El
Netflix.
Camino, El
Yeah.
Camino 2.
Right.
I think
No.
they just announced that what was that Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler
Oh.
comedy? Was it like Murder Mystery or
The
something?
one on the island.
I think that's been
all
announced
all
as
his
well.
films are on islands because he wants to go on holiday.
I don't want to do it unless I can,
I think that was the first one that they've announced as like an actual sequel to one of their originals.
See, okay, I didn't
What
know
a great
that's
choice for a
sequel.
first
I think they're
sequel.
also doing Bright 2 as well, I believe.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah.
There are more.
Yes,
Well,
It's going to be called Brighter.
More orcs.
Dim.
Too bright.
Well, because I know Will Smith signed on to do another one because he thought Bright was going to be this smash hit success.
And he was right.
Fucking it up.
Oh,
It is great. I think a couple of years ago, Hollywood was kind of, in terms of Netflix, they were kind of scared to accept. I think they saw it as a turning point, and they went, "We need to shut this down." And then they realised that Netflix is just such a
It's not going away.
powerhouse. I think they realised that okay, we just need to.
And obviously they're doing something right because everyone else is jumping on the bandwagon. As Lou said, Apple want in, Disney are now in. You got like HBO are now moving to it. Like it's everyone. Yeah. Everyone is moving. It's like that Red Letter Media video with like the hundreds of different streaming services.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah. There's an ITV box office. I mean, it's not a service, but
Haven't they done like a UK one now?
It was
BritBox.
The BritBox.
That's the one.
But
The
that's
best of,
more for old TV programs, like if you want to watch Only Fools and Horses.
Do you miss
or something.
Upstairs, Downstairs?
Some others do have them.
What's weird about it
In
is
HD.
the point of Sky and the point of whatever the American equivalent is, you pay 1 monthly sum or whatever for all the option, and now we've just decided, we only want to watch ABC, Fox, whatever, and that's why now we actually will end up paying more if there's multiple subscriptions.
Yeah.
Well, that was because people were fed up of paying different packages on Sky and stuff like that, which is why when Netflix came out, it was great because you don't have to go and buy movies and sport and not sport, but all these different places.
Into that at some point,
whereas now we're kind of going back to it because now you think, if I want to watch The Boys, I've got to get Amazon Prime, and if I want to watch this specific Apple TV series,
I've got to go to that.
I really want to watch The Mandalorian and nothing else on Disney Plus. Well, I better get Disney Plus.
And it all racks up sooner or later. Netflix is more expensive than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like what is it, $8.99 or something a month?
I think it's a bit more. I think it's
$9.99.
And I don't mind paying it.
I do.
But when I've
just because I never really use it. Like, the fact that I still have it is because like my sister and Steph and family use it. But really, I don't use it that much because I don't watch like these Netflix series and things.
No, but it all adds up once you start throwing in Netflix and Prime and Disney Plus and Apple TV and HBO Max and
torrenting is just gonna
because it's all about convenience, and if you've got to pay
Convenience
5 different
take 10 minutes to download a movie,
Well,
or
that's the whole point of
spend
Netflix.
£80 a month
When
trying
you
to
release
keep
a
up
film-
subscriptions.
When you release a film in the cinema, you got to watch a crappy hard cam rip or whatever it would be. I'm not saying I have done.
We do not endorse piracy.
Someone's standing up in front of the screen.
This
But the
podcast
second
has been a rude. Police are outside.
Actually, no, kill.
The second it's on Netflix, it is immediately ripped. High quality.
It's just so easy to record your screen and.
But then again, people still pay because. Is it easy to just pay Netflix and just watch it straight on your TV 10 seconds after you turn your TV on? Or boot up, load up Pirate Bay, find something to download it on, try and stream it off your laptop to your TV?
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I heard something like Criterion's trying to do it, and they might have actually already started, which would be great if they owned all of those films.
Yeah.
And the Criterion
Oh
collection.
yeah, I don't know why they don't have that.
Don't forget the BFI player.
Well, what's the one that's Mubi or something?
Movie, yeah.
Movie.
A film that's picked every day, and there's 30 or 31 films on all.
I had a subscription for that for a month. It was really good.
Yeah.
There's 20,
Yeah.
20 films, that's it. And it's in a pile.
What kind of films are they? They just.
Oh,
They're
they're
really good.
they're all very
mixed bag.
they're all very var.
Yeah, we got the free trial of
Ah,
it
yeah.
because that was the only copy of Canetta that we could find, Yorgos Lanthimos' debut. So we got a movie for that.
Dogtooth was on it as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on for a while, yeah. And they just when one goes, another adds, so you can only watch 20.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps you
Every
focused rather
day
than
expires, right? Yeah. And then no one gets added, and it's just like constantly.
So it just means you don't spend like an hour on Netflix going, I don't know what to watch. I mean, it all looks fucking shit. And why do I keep getting told I need to watch Goop?
Oh my god.
Because Goop is great.
Is that
I don't know what. There's a recurring problem here.
This
though.
podcast
I think
is
it's you
sponsored by
and not
Gwyneth
Netflix.
Paltrow.
Bringing it away
What
from
a
Gwyneth
bitch.
Paltrow as quick as we can. What is everyone's bet for what Best Picture is going to be?
Oh yeah, the Oscars, yeah.
Back to the Oscars.
Thank you,
Can you go
Netflix.
through the
let's
list
get a
again?
recap. Yeah.
A recap of the best films.
Nice and
Yes,
slow, please.
All right, we have Le Mans '66 or 4v Ferrari,
Lovely.
and we have The Irishman,
Mm-hmm.
Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
It could be
So
1917.
everyone votes on this, no matter what category they're in, because it's best picture, and it doesn't work the way of whatever wins. You know, it works in a different way, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
whoever gets dropped out, those points go to whoever they voted second. I can't really explain it very well, but
It's
that's how
like
it
a
works.
proportional system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not first past the post, or is it? No, it's
No.
No, you pick like first, second, third
And then
options.
there's
and
tiered
they-
rankings that happen, yeah.
The only
I
one
think-
that I can imagine winning is 1917.
Yeah.
In terms
Yeah.
of Sam Mendes getting on the stage and like.
But then I could also see him getting best director and not best picture.
Yeah.
Because it was
I
very
can
well
see
directed.
both. I can see both.
I could see both happening, but I feel like that is going back to like the ScarJo thing of giving a one, so you know you could see him getting best director so
Yeah.
that they could give best picture to
because other
something else.
directors don't.
Yeah, they have done that before, haven't
Yeah,
They've broken them up, haven't they?
they? Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
In which case,
with like Inarritu with The Revenant,
Yeah,
didn't get best film,
exactly.
but got everything else.
yeah,
It might be one
I,
of
I
those
feel
years.
like 1917 is going to be a similar.
Well,
similar
1917, I think, automatically got cinematography.
Well,
Oh, I
Yeah,
would have thought
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well,
Less of
If you
Lighthouse, is it?
Well, let me,
Is that not?
if you look at Deakin's history of getting nominated, and
It's
Yeah,
so
but-
funny, now twice in a row.
You know,
Ridiculous.
yeah, exactly.
well, Roger Deakins is up against Robert Richardson for Once Upon a Time, and Yarin Blaschke for Lighthouse, Lawrence Sher for Joker, and Rodrigo Prieto for The Irishman.
I think it's got to be
I
1917.
don't
Probably
think you can give it
1917.
to Irish.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I mean,
Either that or the Lighthouse if they want to kind of.
They'll go with a gimmick, won't they? It'll be 1917, just
Yeah.
with the gimmick, I think.
I mean, it is very well shot.
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the second
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from it. It
but then
probably
I
deserves it more than
have
the
been
others.
mulling it over in terms of like Roger Deakins' cinematography with this like, included in it, and think because I came out of it thinking, well, that's just his career best, surely. And then like as the days and weeks went on, I thought, I wonder if it is. And there was something actually you said where a lot of it is quite like it's very cool but very simplistic. It's just following people.
Because you couldn't do anything too complicated.
If you're going in a
You're trying to
trench, you don't have much options
true.
other than
That's
fault.
And a big thing that I started thinking about was like there was lots of moments in the film where I could almost see the camera. Like,
Yes.
like I knew it was being camera operated.
Yeah.
Which then went into more effect when the other night Steph and I rewatched Birdman, and you forget that there's camera. You're just following what's going on. You
I-
don't think about the camera crew
I
as
get
much.
what you mean.
Yeah.
I
in
get what you
Birdman.
mean. But then also, I think because of the nature of the story and that you almost feel like this lad who's going on this journey the whole
Yeah.
like it's very immersive.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Birdman isn't trying
Well,
to do that as much, so you kind of get away with, like you say, kind of knowing where the camera's going to go and stuff because it just feels like you're
It is
walking with them.
immersive, and then it'll just go behind a rock, and you'll be like, why are you doing that? Well, you know why he's doing
We
that.
know why he's doing
We know why
that.
he's
Do
doing that.
99% of the people who've watched the film know
Probably,
that?
because I agree with everything you say about the cinematography, and I'm completely on your side with this. But the problem is the people who are voting in the Academy are not
Yes.
the average cinema goer. They are
The
professional cinematographers
very
that
true.
would see the cut as we did. Like sorry, Eli, there's no spoilers for this,
It's
but
fine.
with the bit where they go into the trench and he's like, "Oh, is it right?" And he looks right and it's like, "No, it's left." And then it whip pans.
Yeah.
And in that moment of whip pans went, "There's your cut."
There's your-
But it was done.
I think it was done
but it's
fine.
done so well.
Yeah, I think it was done fine personally.
Like it's not necessarily a problem knowing where the cuts are because you know there's got to be some cuts,
Of
and you're
course,
almost
yeah.
looking out for
Yeah.
them. So it's not necessarily a problem.
And it's a
that,
hell of
you
a
know,
tougher endeavour that Birdman is seamless
Yeah.
with the transitions, but
The night
I'd
scenes are great.
say Birdman is easier film to accomplish to do that.
Yeah.
Because they're all indoors, they can control the environment.
Yeah.
But outside, you've got to deal with hundreds of extras and explosions going off and moving physically away from your camera points. You're going to have Steadicam operators moving to jeeps, moving to wires. I mean, that is a huge endeavour. So I think
just
we
for
can forgive him
Yeah.
to notice the cuts.
Admiration alone, I think, will win it for him because
Yeah.
it's still fucking hard to do.
Yeah,
It's very Oscar baity.
There was
I
like-
assume he did it
I don't
They had
know.
that, I do have that feeling that maybe not entirely,
Yeah.
but in the back of his mind, he probably thought, yeah, if I do this, I'll get another Oscar
This
out
is
of
the
this.
thing. I have a theory, right? I think Deakins has gone so long without getting an Oscar.
He wants to
And
barrel him.
I read it somewhere. He had like a philosophy of like, you shouldn't notice the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
The main thing I noticed in Blade Runner was the cinematography,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
interesting.
suddenly got
and suddenly he
Mary.
got an Oscar.
Yeah, that is interesting. That.
I
Because-
think he's changed his philosophy in a way. I really do, because I never noticed.
Yeah, that's
the
a good
cinematography
point
like that
because I don't think Blade Runner 2049 is his absolute best.
before. No,
Because as you say, with like you shouldn't notice it,
that's
and I think of
direct
like
quote.
Man Who Wasn't There and Fargo and No Country and Jesse James, where it's just flawless
Exactly.
cinematography.
Yeah,
Where you, because I don't really think of it, particularly stuff like Fargo, where you don't really think of it.
No.
When you think of Fargo, you don't think, oh, the cinematography.
Yeah,
But I take that as a good thing.
Prisoners and all,
Yeah.
and Sicario. Like, I don't really think about the cinematography in it, but it also happens to be fantastic.
but for me, in Blade Runner, cinematography was number one.
Oh, sure, yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think he's genuinely changed his.
So we've gone from best
He's
picture
sold
to
out.
cinematography.
I think he, in a way,
Sorry,
in a
we made
way,
link there.
Yeah.
not that I'm complaining, but
No,
in a
of
way, I
course
think
not,
he
no,
has. Yeah.
Back to best picture again.
Well, no, I think it does. I think it does relate though, because
Yeah.
there is a chance that the Academy may go against the Golden Globes and curveball it because they may think, because there's a lot of differing opinions in the room about 1917. That there are some in the camp that think it's extremely immersive and it's an experience and stuff like that. And obviously, I know you're one of them, aren't you? Where you saw it a bit more as a gimmick, and where Rob, you made a good comment about like it feeling too much like a video game or an A to B issue. The Academy may see it that way, that they don't want to give it to a gimmick.
But then equally, something like The Lighthouse is also a gimmick that they might see and go, I love it.
Yeah.
They might be more like, oh, this one's
Yeah.
so pretty.
Whereas they might see 1917 and go, do you know what, that's a high budget gimmick, whereas The Lighthouse is a low budget gimmick, so let's give it
Sure.
to
The
1917.
sheer
It's
Yeah.
more
amount of time
complicated.
we've spent talking about it would suggest that it's quite divisive.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't think it would win for that
Very
alone.
true.
What,
Because it'll be at
the,
top and it'll
the
be
best
at the bottom
picture
of it.
itself?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
1917 could be at the top of people's lists, also the bottom, or close to the bottom. So it would it wouldn't get past the 51% or whatever you need to.
So
Sure.
what else do we think is close?
Will they
to
will they give it to the love letter to Hollywood?
I think so. That's where my money is. Literally, I'll put a bet on it. If this is what it is,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
if
I
we
mean,
know anything about Hollywood, it's that it loves Hollywood.
It loves itself, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Loves Hollywood and loves impersonations. So make an impersonation about a famous producer. Can't wait for the Harvey Weinstein film.
For best picture, has he won best picture?
no, not best.
Tarantino?
No.
No.
No,
He's only won. I think it's both for screenplay, Pulp Fiction and
Yeah, he wins- he's won that.
Inglourious or Django, something like that.
Did he ever win best director either?
No, he's been
He didn't
nominated.
win.
No, I don't think so anyway.
No, I don't
But
think so.
I think a big reason why Lighthouse was nominated for cinematography is because I was reading an interview with the director saying like they purposely found really old like lenses from the 30s that haven't been used since, and like sort of dusted them off and used them to give it that real old look. And I think maybe I imagine the Academy sort of like that kind of different way of thinking.
Just
By
sitting
sort
there
of-
rubbing their legs, watching it. Going,
Yeah.
Oh yes, antiquity.
It's just the director and the DP just had access to like the really old archives of whatever studio it was, and just found these dusty old lenses that hadn't been used since
Pretty
the 30s.
cool, though.
And I thought maybe that sort of swung a little bit for its nomination, just that kind of different kind of dedication to how they want it to be filmed, maybe,
Yeah.
or that and a combination of is nicely shot. I
So,
imagine.
Louis, your bet is Once Upon a Time.
For best picture, Once Upon a Time.
Okay. Rob, where are you going with?
See, I can imagine it being either 1917 or Parasite, really.
But I think Parasite's, it'll just get Best Foreign Film and then that'll be it.
But will this be the year that breaks it? That the Academy could think, do you know
I
what?
don't think so.
The Academy never change.
I don't think they'll ever do it.
To learn. They're gonna win. Hollywood is going to win again. And it won't be a foreigner, it won't be
Yeah.
anyone else.
Parasite's one of those weird ones where it didn't really start getting any traction until it got put on that list. Where before that, not many people had heard of it at all.
Won the
No.
Palme d'Or, didn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, won the
Yeah.
Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
year.
Well, I thought the same about 1917 because I remember when the first trailer came out, people were just like, oh, it's just another war film.
Sure.
I don't, because people didn't realise it was just the whole one-shot thing
Yeah.
until like it went through the grapevine. And then I remember the second trailer I saw, they put in like behind-the-scenes footage, like massive cranes and like people running, jumping off cars, and just to make, I think to make people go like, oh my god, look how much effort they put
Can I
into
an
just
this.
say,
experience film,
it's
yeah.
2 shots, by the way. 2, not 1. It cuts
Okay.
to black in the middle.
No.
It's bullshit. I hate it when they make it.
Do you know what? No, it's
I quite like the little black bit. In the
I'm
middle.
with you, Louis, because I thought as soon as that happened, I thought the potential way to do this instead of cutting to black. I get why they did it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could have easily just instead of later on, a couple minutes later, it goes out the front of the window.
Yeah.
What's to do it from going out the back, going up, time lapse, come back down.
I want to
just carry
some
on from
weird
there.
Gaspar Noé bird's eye view shit.
I saw the cut to black was the point was that the cam, because we've been talking about how the camera's not like omniscient, that we're aware that the camera's there, but the camera was deliberately following him. What was his name, Blake or whatever his name was? Schofield.
Yeah.
And
Blake
so
Schofield.
if it had gone away from him after what happened, no spoilers, after what happened, and then it suddenly left him and went up the house, it wouldn't be
I get
us
what you
following
mean.
his journey. He went unconscious, so the camera goes to black.
Oh, I think I agree with you now.
Because it's his story, not ours, and it's not the story of the war, it's the story of him.
That's exactly what I used to
Why is it
defend
not Hardcore Henry Point of View?
I'd love it.
That'd be great. That'd be I'd like that.
Oh my god.
Hardcore Henry in World War II.
But can we have
World War
Sharpton
I.
constantly running around going like, got to kill the Kaiser?
Well, maybe because of that, it's probably what will get Deacon's win then.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because I just see it as it's a journey thing, not like Birdman, where Birdman does have the feeling that it could just go anywhere,
Not
that
like
the camera's
Yeah.
chaos.
You're
But
right.
Fluid.
They needed a reason to go from day to night, and then they thought, yeah, we'll just go to black.
yeah, because Birdman did the whole transition time lapse stuff as well. So Deakins isn't going to want to be
I
compared.
think you wanted the real time aspect as well, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
So they had to
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the film, but I imagine that the way they've shot it is in like one shot, in air quotes.
Yeah,
They follow someone. It seems like it's relatively wide angle. From what I've seen, it's relatively wide angle for a lot of it.
yeah.
It seems like it's an incredible way of just creating suspense and
Oh,
anxiety.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Just imagining it, I get
Yeah.
kind of like,
That's cut to black is just cheap, just easy. That's what annoys me. There's like that shot in Hacksaw Ridge where it goes up that massive ridge. It shows you the impending doom of what's to come, and it's just a shot that stuck with me.
But our
God,
character
they've got to
in-
go up there.
But our
That's
character in
what-
1917 doesn't know the impending threat, so why should we know it? We've been following him consistently, so
Yeah, that is a
why
good
should
point.
we
I did
know
like
what
how-
he doesn't?
When he goes out of that house, it is like you're waking up with him.
Yeah,
and going,
we don't
"Oh
know
my
what's
God,
going to come
what
out.
I have
happened?"
no idea.
You know, around the corner, we don't know because he doesn't know.
To give
If
it
we
credit-
knew, there'd be no suspense. We'd be like, oh, there's.
To give it some credit, working at a cinema, 2 people have left now because they felt motion sick. Yes, they were both old and stupid.
I was going to say,
Speaking of- speaking of-
chairs were
Sorry,
Speaking of
all
which,
the
my
stupid
mum
people
said
that
she
listen
got
to
a
this
bit dizzy, so
Your mum is old and
If-
stupid.
if-
so
So it
if
seems
the
to be
movie
working,
fits,
it's fine.
I'll let her
It
know.
seems to be working.
I'll let her know.
Tell your mum she's old.
She knows. I've told her.
Saint.
And another thing I thought about with 1917, in terms of like its best film nomination, is like, would I still enjoy it if it was filmed quote unquote normally? I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And,
I think that is because a lot of people are calling it an experience film, which it is. But in the same way that Dunkirk is, you can enjoy Dunkirk at home.
Yeah.
Will you enjoy it as much as you would in an IMAX cinema screen?
Probably not.
Probably not. But
4DX, this perfect film for 4DX,
Yeah.
1917.
And that's why I related
did
back
well.
to Birdman, because
Is
if it was filmed like normally, I probably would still enjoy it the same way.
Sure.
Mm.
Would I enjoy 1917 if it wasn't a 2 shot? Not as much.
I don't think.
Well, that's the story. It was what everyone says it was simple, isn't it? It's A to
Yeah,
B.
you'd have to compensate. If it was going to be standard cinematography, then you'd have to have a really dense story, like say
Yeah.
Private
other
Ryan.
shit going on.
Yeah.
You'd have
I
to
liked
have a
that it
Private
was a
Ryan,
simple
but this
story
it can be
with-
simple because of the structure.
Yeah, and that's why my biggest kind of thing with 1917 is that I think the majority of its praise it's getting is because of its flashy photography, rather than that. Oh, it's a good film as well, by the way. I haven't really heard much of that.
I
They
think-
talk about it's immersive, it's this and it's that.
But
not
then
really
does that
talk
not
about-
make it a good film?
Yeah.
Surely that's the aim of every film, to
Just
be
to be
immersive.
immersive.
No, I mean immersive in the sense of
And everyone cares about the characters. Like, granted, there's not that many characters, but like people really care.
Yeah. I think, the fact that the thing that made it so good to me is the fact that it can be so immersive while being so simple, while being so complex.
yeah.
It ticks a lot of boxes, and it ticks them all
Yeah.
in the way that they intended to tick
No,
them.
yeah, that
Sure.
yeah, it is true. I'm not saying I'm like knocking the film. I did enjoy it. I'm glad I've seen it, and I would like to see it again eventually. But do I think it equates to the praise that it's getting?
Okay. So which
Well,
one
what do
go
you
with?
think
Yeah, what
should
do you
win
go
Best
with?
Picture? What do you think should, and what do you think will?
This turned into the 1917 podcast.
Yeah, we were going to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Come on, Rob. What do you think?
Don't worry, the Germans lose the First World War.
What? Tom, you said no spoilers.
It's a really weird one this year because with other Oscars that we've watched, it's been like, well, it has to be this, and I want it to be that. Whereas this, I don't know. There's just a
That's not a clear standout, is there?
I think I can't speak for 1917, and if it's got aspects I want it to have as a film, then maybe it'll win. But at the moment, I genuinely think that Parasite might win.
It could be the first year, but I just don't see
I
it.
think
I don't
I
see it
think
happening.
I was pleasantly surprised that it was in this category for one.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
But is
I
it
almost couldn't
again?
believe it.
Is it The Irishman? Well, some people think The Irishman, where they just go, "I'll just kind of put it in Best Picture," because
Shove it
again,
in,
they've
like
got
a
no limit.
token.
They can put however many
It's
they want in
Roma,
there.
all
It could
over
be
it,
like a
right?
token.
Yeah.
Agreed.
To be fair, Parasite's fucking great.
It
It's a
is.
great film.
Very good.
I
Like,
haven't seen it.
It's
top
fantastic.
dollar, worth your time.
And that's why I
you should
think
watch it.
I think I'd want that one to win out of all of them. I think I'd be happiest if Parasite won.
Me too.
Because even though I love like a lot of these others, like obviously Once Upon a Time and all Irishman and that, if Irish. But I'm Joker as well. Like if Joker won Best Film, I think really.
It's that thing of it could absolutely deserve to win, but then also if it won, I think, oh, they've only done that because they thought it should win because that's what they think people want.
Really, I think all are deserving bar Jojo. If any of them won, I'd be like, oh, wait, is Little Women also up?
Yeah, it is.
Apart from Little Women, that was shite.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Everyone else, apart from Jojo and Little Women.
You're a monster.
Why do you hate women, Dom?
No, little.
Do you know what? I
sorry.
love women, and that's the problem. I think the Little Women.
I love them too much.
I think the Little Women does a really bad job at showing really what womanhood would be at the time. I think it
I have no idea what
trivialises
the
womanhood.
woman's about. What is it about?
It's about three women
And they're
who
Three
just
sisters,
live out their
yeah.
life,
While
and then the
Civil
movie
War,
ends, and Timothy Chalamet's in it.
Yeah,
trying to
so
fuck all
while
of
the
them.
Civil War's going on.
So is it
America,
just
like-
like Timothy Chalamet?
And
Just following a family.
They
or
made
something.
Florence Pugh, who's 23.
Three, I think.
They made her pretend to be a 13-year-old. It doesn't work
She was
because she.
13.
Yeah, so she just comes off as looking like she may have a kind of, mental difficulty or whatever. But in reality, she's actually just trying to play a 13-year-old. So she's just jumping around and clanging about on pianos.
Yeah,
and
she was
things.
being ditzy to the point of just irritating in that film. And what's annoying about her Oscar nomination is the fact that it should have been for Midsummer.
Yeah,
Because,
I agree with that.
like, regardless of thoughts of Midsummer, like, who can deny that, that she should have got it for that? She was just,
Yeah.
just leaps and bounds
and,
better.
and
She has a
Fight with
powerhouse
My Family
performance
as well.
there, Jim.
She
The
was
one thing you
snubbed.
can't deny.
Well, I think she should have got it for Fighting with My Family more than
I agree with that.
The little
Impersonation, yeah, again.
She'll get it for Black Widow.
Personally, and I upsets Jim, but I actually want Once Upon a Time to win. It's been my favourite movie of the year. I love it. I think it's perfect.
I've hardly seen any of these. I'd be happy if 1917 won it. I don't think it will. I think they'll do that. Best director, all that stuff. I could see Once Upon a Time winning, maybe just because Tarantino hasn't won it for so
I was
long.
thinking
And they wouldn't give him Best Director potentially, because they'd give it to someone like Sam Mendes for 1917. So maybe they'd go Hollywood for
Yeah,
Best
well, it
Picture.
depends who is he up against.
And it would make up for La La Land.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Well, they got it
Tarantino's
for a
he's
second.
up against Scorsese with The Irishman,
Mm-hmm.
Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam for 17, and Bong Joon for Parasite.
Yeah, that'll be.
So directors again and voting. So would they be like, oh, Tarantino's not got it? We'll give it one because he needs one by now.
Unless they're saving it for his last one, I don't know.
But
Would
then
they
what
do
if his
that?
last one's shit?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
That's
They'd be
true.
nervous. So
Why
they
did he
just
do
give it.
Star
Or
Trek?
it's going to be Star Trek, yeah.
Star Trek Yorktown.
Star Trek. What for Best Directors? Tarantino, Star Trek.
The problem is, I love the
I can't-
class.
It's not gonna
I
happen.
reject your
It's not gonna
hypothesis.
happen.
No.
Who do you think definitely won't get Best Director win?
I
Todd.
really hope it's not Todd Phillips.
If it's Todd, I think that would be just over the top. I think.
It's a great
Yes.
film. I mean, I know
Was it? Yeah.
Jim's view.
Yeah, of course. It's,
Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the film, and don't get me wrong, the performance is fantastic, and like it's gonna win, and it should win, but the rest of the film is like just a cut and shut of two other films that I really enjoy, and that to me is unforgivable.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So,
What are those films? There's someone that hasn't watched it yet.
Kings of Comedy.
Kings of Comedy and Taxi Driver.
Taxi
Oh, okay.
If you think about just throwing them two films together, that's sprinkled
That's what
in
you
with
get.
some DC dust.
But Rob
my
made a very
friend.
interesting point to me the other day, because Rob has finished all of Martin Scorsese's movies. Now it's now Louis and
Congratulations.
Fair play.
and
Well,
you
it's
made a
just
really
a-
good observation, didn't you?
Well,
yeah, it's just.
I did it first.
far enough, too late.
You know, first you're last.
Just the irritating thing about, with Twitter and getting pissed off about very particular things is that people slagging off Joker because it's, quote, ripping off King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, but because I watched New York, and that's essentially La La Land.
Right, okay.
But no one said anything when
Well,
La La
every
Land
film
came
rips
out.
off every film. That's the point.
Yeah,
but that was
it's all
really
derivative of La La
1917
Land.
ripped off Dunkirk.
Yeah, Dunkirk ripped off Battle of Britain.
Yeah.
Battle of Britain ripped off the Battle of Britain. So it's just an endless cycle of derivatives.
But I think with the
Jojo Rabbit ripped off Hitler.
Hitler ripped off Taika Waititi.
But I think the issue with Joker is that it's so blatant, and like you say, other things are quite blatant when they copy things. But you've literally got the star of both those films that you're ripping off in your film.
It was also originally
And
produced by Martin Scorsese.
exactly the guy you're fucking ripping off.
Was it produced or did he drop out?
He dropped
He-
out.
yeah, it was at the
He
start.
talked about it in the Oscars roundtable, which was pretty awkward because Todd was also there.
The thing is, I hate Taika.
Shit, I hate
Well, I
Todd's an asshole.
I don't really know his honest reason. He said personal reasons is why he left.
He just doesn't like him.
Yeah,
Personally, I
it.
don't
I
want to make my
personally
movie
do
again.
not like Todd Phillips.
Because like the curator or whatever asked like why did you drop out of Joker, and I
I'm
don't
not
think,
going to answer that question.
yeah, I don't think Scorsese was kind of prepared for it. It's kind of like, well, just personal reasons really.
yeah.
Well, I think
he was
the
never gonna
reality-
go, no, because Todd's an asshole and ripped off two of my films.
Oh no, that was it. He said he didn't want to be lumbered into the inevitable backlash that Joker was going to get.
Sure.
Because he already
Okay.
had it with another film, Last Temptation.
Yeah.
Because he like
He's
that
had to deal
nearly.
with that type of
And to be fair, well, I'm Taxi Driver. The
Yeah.
controversy of casting Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Well, particularly Last Temptation because he went through hell with that
Yeah.
when that film came out.
Yeah.
But
It's
and
over,
and
yeah.
I think he's got to an age now where he just
He just wants to make his own films.
he's gone past that. Like.
He only ever does things that he wants to do.
Well, the thing about Taxi Driver and especially King of Comedy is the great classic films, right? And people who watch films love them and hold them in high esteem.
Sure.
But does the mass audience, like the masses, just the common cinema goer, really know a lot about Taxi Driver?
No.
Especially not King of Comedy.
And this is the thing, because you'd say to people, and I had it at the cinema, and people would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch Joker for like a second time," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And like, "Did you enjoy it?" They'd be like, "Yeah, I loved it. Revolutionary. I've never seen anything like it." You'd be like, "Well, have you ever seen Taxi Driver?" They'd be like, "No, what's that?"
Yeah, but
And you go,
can't-
"Okay, well, back to
That's
that
the point I'm trying to
What's
make.
that?"
But
And it's like,
you've got to
okay.
constantly reinvent yourself in cinema because
Yeah.
the same thing could be said for any of us when we watch any film and they go, "Hang on, you like The Dark Knight? It's essentially Heat."
But then going back to Louis' point,
Do you know
all
what I
the
mean?
people who are going to be voting for Best Director
Well, they know
seen
it.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver
Yeah.
and King
Yeah.
of Comedy.
So yeah,
So
next.
Todd's not going to win. Yeah, yeah.
Next round.
Lovely full circle. Yeah.
So yeah, I would really like it if Parasite won.
Yeah, me
Best
too.
film.
I think
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
And I'd also really like it if Bong Joon won for Best Director as well.
Yeah.
That'd be
I think
awesome.
if
He's
it
the guy
doesn't
that's
win, I
Snowpiercer,
think
right?
it will.
That's
Yeah.
the most likely one, I think.
Yeah.
Okja.
Yeah.
Okja.
I think it will definitely win an Oscar. One of the main.
Oh,
It'll win.
It'll win for
I
it.
mean,
It's guaranteed.
Sorry, I mean,
it's
international.
International. Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
Thank you,
it'll
Louis.
win. I'm pretty sure it'll win international. I mean, like one of the the
Sure.
focal
Yeah.
Oscar.
I don't think it will, but
Should have fucked off Scarlett Johansson for Jojo and got the Hund.
Yeah, I mean that I did see that people thought that she should have been nominated over. Well,
She should have. She was
I
amazing.
think there's a bunch of actresses that should have got it over Scarlett
Yeah.
for Jojo. Can't bring any to mind right now, but
To be fair, we were talking about this. This year's not been too good for film. At the
no.
end,
No.
you've got a bunch of good ones that are coming out.
Yeah, well,
But it took all year to get here.
it's true what you said
Yeah.
about your 2019 list. Is that you wouldn't know by looking,
Yeah.
but there was like big gaps of the year where just nothing.
When for 6
worth.
months, Lego Movie 2 is at the top. Something's
Yeah.
gone wrong for that year.
we've been very top heavy this year,
There
which
was
is
a
why
lot
I've not
of-
seen a lot of these.
A lot of like big box office type films. Like at the start of the year, I remember we had like a list. It was huge, and you think like Aladdin was out, Lion King. Like there was so many big
2017
so
was
much
a
trash.
great year. Like 2 years ago, I couldn't pick.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So many
Yeah.
Well,
great
it was
films.
a
The amount of
wonderful,
great films
wonderful
I had to
year.
leave out of the 2017
Yeah.
list
Yeah.
was just oh my god.
Just
Right.
ebbs and
It was
flows
just the
with the
best.
Oscars. I think it's kind of.
That's it. They know. All right, this is going to be a good one for the Oscars. Let's do November, December, January as best. Kind of try and target that, and then that's why all of these feel, well, apart from a couple, feel fairly recent. Even stuff that's not Best Picture, things like The Lighthouse, which is premiered like 3 months ago somewhere. But,
Sure.
but again, only a small premiere. And
Yeah,
then
quite an
probably come
independent
out.
little release,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So hopefully it'll be a lot different this year. Well, with what we know that's coming out, because
Oh,
we're quite a
yeah.
hefty bunch.
But yeah, as you say, yeah, we've got Spike coming back, we've got Fincher coming in, we've got Denny's Dune.
Edgar
is
Wright.
that coming out this year?
Yeah,
What's Fincher?
Mank
Um,
coming out in
End of the year.
November.
Yeah.
It's coming out the same. It was coming out the same month as Dune, but thankfully Dune's been pushed back
Yeah.
by like just 2 weeks. I don't think I could deal with Villeneuve and Fincher in the same month.
Well, there's Chris Nolan's Tenet as well.
There's only so much I can.
Jesus Christ. Get this
Flag.
And Tenet as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Tenet.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
How did I forget that?
Man.
That, again, that is such a good example of he's gotten to that point in his career now where all he has to do is just put out a trailer and go, I'm making a film, it's called Tenet, it's about backwards shit.
I know you're all watching. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's it. And everyone goes, even people who aren't that into like film go,
Like,
oh, he's the guy that made Dark Knight and Inception. Yeah, right, okay, I'll
They've
watch
just
it.
been doing the trailer's really long.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, but then there's also a 20-second one that's just the main actor just walking into a room, looking at something, and then it says Tenet. And everyone in the cinema went,
He loves the tease. Nolan loves the tease. Well, it's probably not Nolan.
Yeah.
Well, me and Bob talked about this
Well, they
a
love-
few weeks back, didn't we? That Nolan's the only guy left, really, that isn't a Disney thing or a Marvel movie or
Yeah.
a DC movie that gets so much hype about a film.
Yeah.
He might as well be
Tarantino
making
as well.
like odd,
Yeah.
but like things like Dunkirk and Dark Knight and Inception, where it was
Yeah.
like everybody's part.
You've just
of
got
it.
to see Nolan's name in the trailer to make people
Yeah.
go.
Like, I'm gonna watch that.
Like Once
This
Upon a
one's
Time
gonna
is
be
for,
big.
for most, but Nolan would take everyone. Do you know what I mean? It's like anybody would go
He's
like,
not
oh
on
yes,
there,
I'll go
Spielberg.
to Inception.
Although Spielberg is still alive and going, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah.
super Spielberg.
Super Spielberg like that.
Yeah.
Super Spielberg.
Whereas Tarantino's more like Scorsese. You know, it's like his
Yeah.
own thing.
Tarantino's
Yeah.
like an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different there's
Sure.
bits of Bertolucci and
Yeah.
whoever
There's
else.
also a lot of people who don't like Tarantino or Tarantino films, whereas Nolan is quite palatable despite doing things like Interstellar, where they go to the fourth dimension or whatever happens at the end. And doing things like Tenet, where
Love is the only thing that transcends space and time.
but like something like Tenet, if I showed my mum that film and it was made by anyone else, she'd go, I'm not watching that. I have no idea what's
He
going on.
was saying tennis.
It is film.
Watch something over tennis.
Back and forth, right?
Just IMAX tennis.
But then, if Christopher Nolan made a film about tennis,
Oh, sure.
we'd all watch it.
We would have watched it.
We wouldn't even need to watch the trailer.
Are you talking about a sequel to Wimbledon?
They're just putting Battle of the Sexes and putting it backwards.
Well, this is
How can there be a battle when there is nothing?
This is the great thing about Nolan is that he's got to a stage in his career now, like all these other big names like him, that he can do whatever he wants now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's
Bloody
his own production company as well, isn't it?
Syncopy.
Yeah.
Syncopy with the maze.
Yeah.
He's just the
Does it
best.
so well.
Yeah,
And
he's
we-
extremely clever.
We've lived in a very lucky time with having someone like Nolan around.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And I'm so looking forward to Tenet. And 2020 is going to be so much better than 2019.
100%.
And just what you were saying about Villeneuve earlier is like, these are the kind of directors that can't really do wrong. It's not really in their mainframe.
No.
Just sort of,
You touch wood right now, so.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Someone can always do
Regardless of the
Great
box
track
office.
record.
Because
yeah.
box office for 2049
oh yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
I mean, it's made profit, but not that much profit. But
But it is.
I don't care about the money.
It's not a very
the
typical
movie's
film,
great.
is it? Really?
That's
it's
it.
Very.
I know a lot of people who did not like
Atmospheric.
2049.
Sure, yeah.
Because-
Lucy found it boring. This Steph didn't really like it,
no,
did
I
she?
didn't really get into it. No.
For
Like-
the longest time, I was so on the fence.
So was I, to be honest.
I was instantly in love.
My second watch, I liked it a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was instantly in love with
Yeah.
cinematography. Instantly.
That's it. I kept thinking. I remember sitting in the cinema. I don't remember much that happened in the film at all after the first time watching it, but all I remember is, oh god, that bit in the desert looks so good. I can't wait for Doom. That was my main takeaway after
Oh,
watching
man.
2049.
I think I mean more like Nolan and guys like Nolan sort of can't really make like a universally kind of bad.
For sure.
Yes.
A flop. Yeah,
Yes.
flop.
Yeah.
They can't do a Lynch Dune.
Yeah, we're like the overall reception is like, wow, Nolan made a real piece of crap there.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's never done that.
And I
Like,
don't think.
No, right.
good point.
But
Yeah.
No, Dark Knight
if
Rises
you,
does some good.
if you ask the average person what they thought of that film,
That's
Sure.
true.
Personally, his worst film is pretty alright.
Yeah,
Yes.
It just
Yeah.
happens to be personally painful because it follows The Dark Knight.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's
But
the
then it was
problem.
also like the most anticipated film of that year. It's bad film.
Exactly. When you compare that to some other people's, like, just what they consider to be their best film, and it's just a piece of shit.
Of course, yeah. Nolan's one of these.
Like Little
directors-
Women.
Get off a little one.
Leave him.
I'm trying to get a controversial corner point here.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nolan's one of those directors where his worst film would be a lesser director's best.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 yes, yeah.
Because people could only dream of other things like that.
Hangover 3 is a masterpiece.
That's true. John Goodman's appearance.
And don't forget the Euro trip.
As, what was his name? What was the name of Burroughs? John Goodman's character.
Marshall.
Was it Marshall?
Yes, because in the first film,
No. No, Burroughs.
Oh, I was talking about Hangover.
Maybe
It was
were.
in Hangover.
Well, now Burroughs, Jim,
Oh, sorry.
which should have won Best Picture.
Something like some made up.
Lucius.
Marshall.
Lucius.
When's Villeneuve making the Burrows too?
Did you
With the
see?
same cast.
You like going to space, you like going backwards. Well, for just small people.
Maybe that's the next number.
Even littler women.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We're not even through the list yet.
Yeah, come on, let's do this.
Yeah, everyone's got to make the prediction of what they want and
Yeah.
What do you think?
what they think will win.
So should we just? Which categories should we do this for?
I was just going to do best
Best
picture.
picture is-
We've been at this for a while when we could be.
Yeah.
We'll just quickly do what picture, director,
What are personal predictions?
And
yeah, and
actress.
then the actors and actresses.
Okay, let's do that.
Sure.
Lou, do you want to start?
What I want to win or what I think's going to win?
What you want?
What you want.
Well, I want to win Best Picture, Parasite. What I think will win Hollywood.
Okay. And for best director?
Director, I think Tarantino will. Again, I would want Boon Joon-ho, right?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. I always mix those up. I'm turning to Dom from Jurassic Park. I can't pronounce his name. What was the other one? Cinematography.
Yeah.
I think 1970 will win, but what I would want to win, probably The Lighthouse.
What about actors and actresses?
Okay, well, I think Joaquin and Renee will win. I probably would have Joaquin win, and I'd want Scarlett Johansson to win for Marriage Story.
Okay. Very good.
And Driver as well. Well, he could win, but it doesn't think he'll win. I want him to.
No, yeah.
Okay. Mark?
Well, yes. I think 1917 will win, but I'd like Parasite to win. And for director, oh shit, man. I think Sam will get it, but I would really like if Bong Joon got it for best director. And actors, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry that Joaquin's going to get it, and I want him to get it because, in terms of his acting career and his Oscar nominations that he's had in the past, like he's always been due one, even though it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
It's all about the Leo thing.
Yeah, it is in a way, yeah. So I think he deserves it basically, and I think Joaquin will get it. And same with Renee. I think she's got it in the bag as well. But I wouldn't be surprised as well if Scarlett gets it as well.
Okay.
She's gonna get it next year for Black Widow.
I definitely think I'd like the best picture to go to Parasite, but I think it will go to 1917.
Yes.
Best director, I think Mendes will get it. It's tough, but it's so hard when you haven't seen most of these films.
I like to imagine this happening live in the Academy.
And the winner is...
Wait, I've changed my mind. We're getting this live from Jim's flat in Birmingham.
We'll be right back.
It's a swing vote, folks.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, no. I think best actor. It's nailed on for Joaquin. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I can't even comment on best actress because I've seen none of those films yet. So I don't know what that says about me.
Well, I haven't seen most of these films, so I would say Best Picture. I'd be happy if 1917 won. I'd be happy if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won. I think it'll be Hollywood. In terms of director, we've already spoken about this, probably Sam Mendes because they're giving Hollywood Best Picture, Best Actor. Again, I've only seen 2 of those. It'll be Joaquin, won't it? But I'd be happy if Adam Driver got it as well. Best Actress, ScarJo. That's the only one I've seen, but she was really good in it. So yeah, fuck it, let's say that. That's me done.
Okay.
She's gonna win it next year for Black Widow anyway. So.
With Florence Pugh.
We have to share. We've only got one.
Pretending to play a 13-year-old.
Can you tie it? You can tie. It's very unlikely, but I'm pretty sure you can tie it, can't you?
Tie what? Sorry.
No.
Tie the Academy. No, I think in that.
It's a draw.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Someone's,
We're going to give it to everyone.
Just throw it in the crowd.
It's like Mean Girls breaking off pieces.
Okay, so I think Best Picture is going to go to... I actually think it's going to go to 1917. Because I think more people have been... I think it's more of a crowd pleaser than Once Upon a Time was. Because I think Once Upon a Time has split quite a few people. At least the people that I know. Not just myself. I would like it to be 1917 as well. And I'd be quite stoked if it was Parasite as well. But I think it's going to be 1917 for Best Picture. Best Director. See, where you guys keep saying, oh, you think it's going to be Hollywood for Best Picture and then Sam Mendes for Best Director. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think they'll give it to Tarantino for Best Director. But I think Best Picture will be 1917.
Fighting.
Just to switch it up. So we're not all saying the same thing, but I think that could be a chance. I would like it to be 1917 because I liked it the most. Best Actor, I think it's Joaquin Phoenix. I think everyone just agrees on that one. Best Actress, to be honest with you, I don't really remember an awful lot of these if I have seen them. What's Bombshell like? I haven't seen it. But
All right.
It's about like
sexual harassment and shit like that, isn't it? So maybe that will win an award just to get some attention. So maybe.
I'd like to.
I knew we should have ended this.
You know what I mean?
That's all we
I
have
mean,
time
it
for.
should be given attention. I'm not saying it shouldn't or anything like that. But I'm just saying sometimes.
They handled.
Do you mean
good
like
themes.
shedding light on the issue?
Yeah, when it's shedding light on an
Yeah,
issue,
okay.
sometimes you go right. Well, let's give it an award to.
I
Relieve
don't
it
think,
well.
I'm not
Spotlight.
going to give.
Spotlight.
Exactly,
actress.
exactly that type of thing.
Nah.
Literally, whole spotlight.
But I think best actress.
Spotlight.
I think you guys are right about how Hollywood likes itself and the whole impersonation thing. So we'll go with Renee. I think that's it.
What a compliment.
I guess.
We're giving you the Academy Award because we like people. We like ourselves.
Come on, Dom.
Sorry, to die. Yeah, I think I want Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to win. But I think it will go to 1917. I think they might not curveball this year. That's all I'm saying. Best Director, I think will go to... I think it will go to Sam, but... The screen has gone black. There you go. But I would like to
Just like in
close
1917.
Knock him out.
I probably would like it to go to Bong. I think that'd be really cool.
Really cool.
I got really confused then when he was like, I want it to go to Bong. Fuck's Bong.
But we're talking about it for an hour.
You said Bong.
And for actor,
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
James Bond.
for an actor, yeah, Phoenix, he's got to be in it. And best actress,
It's a tough one, isn't it?
it is tough.
I don't think any of them are particularly that stand out.
You just said you didn't see any of them.
I haven't seen them, but they're not standing out.
There's not been a lot of buzz.
I feel it in my bones. I'd love for
I saw Judy.
I'd love for Scarlett Johansson to win it for Marriage Story because she was just
Yeah, same.
she was just very, very good in it. But I think it will go to Renee for Judy.
Cool.
Yes.
Peace out. Oh, 8 down.
Sweet.
Right.
Oscars 2019. Say bye, everyone.
Bye everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
And cut.
Hey.